strategic positioning, market positioning, product positioning, business network, and boundary positioning. When we're looking at your strategy audit, okay, it includes analysis in 4 areas. First, you have to assess the business context, then analyze your customers, your competitors, and your substitutes, and finally assess the business network. Okay, now we're going to move on to evolve.
A virtual world is an internet-based simulated environment where users interact via avatars, which are graphical images that represent people. Virtual worlds' persistence allows for continuing and growing social interactions, which can serve as a basis for collaborative education. Virtual worlds give users the ability to carry out tasks that could be difficult in the real world due to constraints such as cost, scheduling, or location. Current applications of education in virtual worlds. Virtual worlds are used for learning activities where students apply, analyze, and problem solve using course content and ideas. This include role play, operating simulated equipment, designing and building things such as houses, bridges, jewelry, newspapers, and businesses, interacting with instructor-built or creating student-built simulations. Immersion. Students become part of the concepts being taught when immersed in the sounds and science of the experience. Earth science. A virtual weather map overlays real-time weather on a map. Virtual learning activities engage students in higher-level intellectual thinking. Educational games and simulations engage students in higher-level intellectual thinking. The ability to interact simultaneously provides students the opportunity to learn concepts that are not easily learned from a textbook or lecture. Common platforms for different levels of online interaction include Active Worlds, Avatar Storytellers, Wyville, Second Life, and Tropic Mind.
The advantages of virtual worlds include cost, location, and engagement. Students' attention span in class is limited and boredom threshold is high, so you have 2 issues to contend with. But if they are avid users of technology, which is more likely, then a virtual world will grab their attention and sustain this for a set period of time. You set your students' tasks and activities in the same way as you would in a real classroom, but with much more scope for experimentation. This is where they can try out things and explore in ways which would be difficult or impossible in a real-world situation. There are a limitless number of creative opportunities for students, where students can be whoever they want and build whatever they want. Other advantages are that you are able to reach more students. A student can learn anywhere on Second Life, just with an internet connection. It's especially ideal learning environment for many disabled students, as it provides greater accessibility than traditional campuses. You can learn green, as it would reduce our carbon footprint by reducing the need to travel, as well as collaborate with other learning organizations from across the globe. The disadvantages are some virtual worlds, like Second Life, require certain bandwidth capability and computer graphic cards for participation. This creates a barrier for some students. Virtual worlds also don't really provide a constructive learning environment, as they are distracting to students, whereas the classroom setting tries to minimize these distractions. Students would rather participate in the social networking aspect of these virtual worlds as opposed to the educational ones. When in the public domain, you may encounter people who are inappropriate and can disrupt your learning experience. Lastly, you might not be able to communicate effectively. Sometimes you just can't beat face-to-face interaction.
Now we are going to be discussing the guidelines for effective use of education in virtual world. The first and most important guideline is to ensure all users have access to the appropriate technology that is required to run the virtual world, as virtual worlds require good graphics processors and a stable internet connection for effective use. Virtual worlds also have to be standardized to allow users to gain access on various forms of browsers. The second guideline is to provide students with effective learning material on the virtual world, such as tutorials and podcasts, to allow them to get familiar with in-game techniques beforehand and provide learners the ability to independently continue knowledge and skills acquisitions. The third guideline is to provide a trained lecturer or instructor that is able to assist students with in-game issues. The fourth guideline is to provide supporting communication, such as forums or blogs, that are designed to assist students in collaborating and interacting within their specific virtual world. The fifth guideline is to allow users adequate time prior to lecture periods to customize character and other features of the virtual world, which allows for greater immersive capabilities and a more homely feel. And finally, the last guideline is to develop an integrated informal or formal learning space that should facilitate a controlled learning environment that enables authorized users to participate, such as UKZN's NextEd Island. With these guidelines in mind, together with the other topics covered in this presentation, we hope you have gained an understanding of virtual worlds and the ability to effectively use them as an educational tool.